I don't know if you can hear my cats literally running around in the background, but apologies in advance if you can. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today we have a brand new Mitski album to listen to. I am so excited for this. This is another album, another project I've been really looking forward to. It is called Nothing's About to Happen to Me, and the album cover is a cat. Which, if you know anything about me, I am absolutely obsessed with cats. I have 3 of them. They are my entire world. And there's actually a track on this album called Cats, and there's another one called That White Cat. So I'm extra excited to get into this for that reason. The cat on the album cover has 2 different colored eyes. As always, the Mitski, the Mitski titles and the Mitski meanings a lot of the time just go over my head. So nothing's about to happen to me. I don't really know what that means. I feel like that's kind of vague, kind of ambiguous, which is typically the way she tends to go. She's not always super on the nose, she's very poetic with her writing and her style. But Mitski is a favorite of mine. I first began reacting to her years ago, and then I did all of her albums, covered them all on my channel, and since discovering her, I have developed a really deep respect and deep love for her. This is my second time experiencing one of her releases in real time, my first instance being her last album. That came out in 2023. It was called The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We. I listened to it a lot when it first came out. I was super obsessed with it, but as time has gone on, I don't know. I just don't really listen to it as much. When it comes on, I tend to skip a lot of the songs. Just wanted to update you guys if anyone was following from that video. Yeah, but today, again, brand new album. I know nothing of this album. I haven't heard any of the singles, which has taken a lot of self-control to not listen to them. But yeah, we're just gonna go in blind. And as always, like, a lot of her lyrics go over my head. I'm just here for the vibes, okay? I love her, even if I don't understand what she's saying all the time. So without further ado, let's get into the first track. It is called In a Lake, because of course it is. Bury Me at Makeout Creek, now she's in a lake. The next one's called Where's My Phone? We're starting off and I have no expectations, which is a very exciting time for me. And she does switch it up a bit sonically, right? Like, I feel like her last album the production was very like calm and kind of polished, and but we also have stuff like Bury Me at Makeout Creek, which is that rock vibe, my favorite album from her. So anyway, excited to see what soundscape we're in this time.
I'd never live in a small town. I've made too many mistakes. For where you gotta write your book early, or it gets written up in your place, where you never get away from your first love. It's like one brand of soap sold in town. But in a lake you can backstroke forever. The sky before you, the dark right behind. In a big city you can start over.
Give me like Front Porch Country.
And everywhere you go makes your heart ache, where you've done enough walks of shame. Some days you just go the long way to stay off of memory lane. So I'd never live in a small
Reflective.
town. I'm slow to learn all the rules. I've tried very hard to be good, but when they think you're bad, people act worse.
Kind of like stream of consciousness, very reflective vibe.
And the dark behind you. And in a big city you can start over. The lights all around you, the dark safe inside. In a big city you can start over.
She did the jump scare Not the cello, whatever instrument that was, clarinet at the end. I absolutely love clarinets, and they are so underrated, and they need to be in more songs. Okay, first of all, she decided to jump scare me, which, you know, if you watched my Mitski reactions from Yore, she does that every single time I listen to one of her albums. Like, I'm just vibing, I'm grooving along, and then all of a sudden, wham, she hits me with a jump scare. And she's talked about in interviews how she does that intentionally. You know, it's part of her music. It's something she intentionally sets out to do. So I think that's really interesting. Just not anything that I experience when I'm listening to other artists. Like, obviously from time to time, there'll be a song that kind of throws me off. But like, in terms of consistent jump scares, Mitski is my girl for that. You know, sonically, it was reminiscent of her last album for me. There was like this airiness and kind of like this very laid back kind of spacey vibe that I was feeling that reminded me of her last album. It was very beautifully produced, which, you know, that's nothing new for Mitski. I remember when I was reacting to her previously that I always talked about her production. I don't know if this is going to be my soundscape, like that I will vibe with, but really love the storytelling. You know, it's just never lacking. She paints the picture so freaking clearly from start to end. And something I'm also picking up on with her music is like throughout the track, throughout her storytelling and kind of painting this vignette for us, she will have these little reflections on life throughout. Everywhere you go makes your heart ache when you've done enough walks of shame. Some days you just go a long way to stay off of memory lane. So I think that's very poetic. You know, it's very beautiful when she gives those kind of life reflections along the way. But the next track is called Where's My Phone? Okay. That's Mitski. That's Mitski.
Where's my phone? Where's my phone? A woman always on the street called me a ditch on my block. She said, I just want my mind to be a clear glass with nothing in my head.
Oh, a woman on the street called me a ditch? Not a bit. I thought she said bitch. I don't know what that means.
I just want my mind to be a clear glass with nothing in my head. I keep thinking surely somebody will save me. At every turn I learn that no one will. I just want my mind to be a clear glass with nothing instead. Oh, where did I leave? Where I go?
Very repetitive, catchy chorus, but I hate like super repetitive choruses. But it is really catchy.
Where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Really interesting transitions.
Hold into tomorrow. I would the whole night long.
What just happened?
If that is like you punched a hole into tomorrow, I would the whole night long. I'll stay out until my mind is like the clear glass dome. Clear wax melted in the dome.
Feels like it's unraveling, getting more chaotic. She's like spiraling. classic, I feel like that was a classic Mitski song, especially like with the structure and everything. The way it kind of got more chaotic toward the end, you know, kind of unraveled and was very harsh sounding. Classic Mitski, you know, she does like to play around with harsh sounds as much as sometimes she plays around with those softer, more poetic and beautiful sounds like she did in the first track. That was clearly much more harsh, much more rocky. It did remind me of Bury Me at Makeout Creek a lot, actually. I feel like it could be on that album sonically. Lyrically, I don't really know what was going on. I'm not gonna pretend like I did, but yeah, that I actually have no idea what the lyrics really meant. She said she wants her mind to be clear. The chorus was really catchy. I could definitely see that getting stuck in my head for like days on end. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm just wondering sonically where we're gonna go with this album now, you know, because the first 2 tracks, totally different energies, totally different vibes. So I'm curious. The next one is called Cats. I really, really want to like this song. Sounds like something off her last album, The Land is Inhospitable. That openness, the airiness.
I won't leave you, 'cause I still love you, so it's up to you if you choose to go. In the meantime, sleeping by my side, our 2 cats making sure I'll be
That's so cute. I love this. This is so pretty.
You say it's so hard, but it feels simple to me. It feels so simple to me.
There's space in this song, you know?
So I've been trying to stop trying to be like someone you'd still like. Maybe if I could, you already would, 'cause I still love you, so I won't leave you. Yes, it's up to you if you choose to go. In the meantime, rescue's at my side. Our 2 cats, both asleep by me tonight.
At first I thought she was making it a metaphor, like we're 2 cats, you know, we still love each other, we care about each other, we don't always interact in the same way that we once did, but like we still care for each other, we're still kind of sleeping by each other's side out of love. But then I realized she's talking about literal cats. I think she's mentioning like we're laying here and our 2 cats are like by our side. But I think this could be a metaphor about love and the ways that it's expressed, because I don't know, I guess if you have cats, you kind of know how they love each other or love you in a very specific way that you really only get if you have a cat. So I don't know, I'm just like making this about love now, and cats kind of being a representation or a symbol of their love.
Maybe tomorrow night the cats will be nowhere in sight, but I'll be glad to know they're out following their heart's delight.
I always forget her songs are super short, typically. That was really pretty. I really enjoyed that one. It was my favorite so far. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was beautiful and loved the lyrics. They were just really sweet, really simple. But the next one is called If I Leave. We're not doing music videos because I just feel like I don't want to do that right now. I just want to enjoy the music. Yes, this right here.
If I leave, somebody else will love you.
So dark.
No nobody else could forgive me quite as often as you.
Or like your only option.
No one,
They're the only person who will really love you for you.
no one in this bar knows. Surely none of my colleagues, nor do my family.
Sick.
If I leave, somebody else will find you, but nobody else could see me quite as clearly as you.
Is this like, if I leave you, like, I'm never gonna find this kind of love again, so I feel like I have to stay with you even if it's not the right situation to be in? I don't know. That's what I'm getting from it. Just love this beat.
Only you know. I've let only you know how I ride through a tunnel and it's dark the whole way. I ride through a tunnel, it's been dark the whole way. I ride through a tunnel, it's still dark the whole way. I couldn't lose you. How could I lose?
That was sick.
I couldn't lose you.
I can't lose you. Oh,
Or
this.
if I lost it, somebody else will cheer you. But who else could love me quite as kindly as you?
She says something along the lines of, if I leave you, you're easily going to find someone else, right? You'll just find someone to replace me. But I will never find someone who can replace you. I will never find someone who loves me as much as you did. So that's kind of interesting. It's like she has faith in the other person's ability to move on, but not in her own ability to move on.
Who could love me quite as kindly as you? You.
So good. So good. I wanted it to keep going. So good. I think that was my favorite so far. I don't know. I love that beat. I loved kind of the more dark, haunting feel that it had. There's like a stark darkness that I felt the moment it begun, and that kind of carried throughout the track. And the beat was just infectious. And that transition at the end, again with it building up. I love her builds, and that did not disappoint on that track. The next one is called Dead Women. Great. She's really playing around with like the soft elements, the hard elements, the harsh, the pleasant, really mixing up the vibes a lot.
Would you have liked me better if I'd have died, so you could tell my story the way it ought to be? You'd find my parents and ask to see my things, rifle through it all, fill the blanks with what you need. Do, 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 If I'd died willingly, have her in our dreams. She gave her
Is she like a martyr?
could fuck her as we please.
These lyrics are crazy. She really said, I'm gonna switch it up for this one. Like, you will not see this coming.
She gave her life so we could fuck her as we please.
That's a wild line. Beautiful. What the fuck? I did not expect a song called Dead Women to be like my favorite so far. I feel like that is classic Mitski at her absolute best. Everything about that song is everything I love about Mitski. First of all, kind of like the more laid back, kind of talk singing, you know, it's a bit more intimate feeling. That is really something she loves to do. And so it's like very familiar to me, you know, it's like, oh, that's familiar. She's done that a lot in other songs. So it's kind of reminiscent of her other music. And that's why it feels so good to hear, because it's familiar. It's classic. It's like, this is what I love about you. Lyrically, you know, so complex, right? And that's where she shines, is these complex meanings, these complex lyrical masterpieces, and that's exactly what that was. Definitely some interesting lines in there. Definitely didn't pick it all up by any means, but I just feel like it was so complex lyrically, and that's something I just love so much about her music. You know, it's never boring. It's never just like, oh yeah, this is like really typical and really, you know, expected. It's never expected, and that was completely unexpected. Every line, it was so crazy. Yeah, to me that was like the best song so far by a landslide. I just feel like it worked so well for some reason. But the next one is called Instead of Here. Okay, we're light and airy again.
Right as I live, a toe in the abyss, a knock on the door, saying, are you in there, miss? I stay quiet as can be. I'm not here, I'm where nobody can reach. I was lying on the floor with death crouching beside me, and still got up for more, saying I'm done after this. And to think I did believe it, I'd gone where nobody can reach.
Oh, it's like,
Death said I'd call.
it's just one of those songs that's just easy production wise. Like, it's just very easy. It flows. It just feels effortless. And it's easy to listen to because of that. You know, it's very relaxing almost.
Death said I'd called, not knowing that I did. She said she wished I'd known that I'm still just a kid, but knew I would call again.
Near-death experiences?
She'd mosey on back in case next time's really the end.
I love when she brings in an instrument I just wouldn't expect to come in at that moment, you know? Like the clarinet or cello or whatever. The strings in the first track I just didn't see coming, and now this freaking piano. Ugh. I just love when she does shit like that.
He said, lie down in the dirt. I looked up at the night sky, wondering, is this what it's worth? The stars never answered back.
Summer Breeze.
I'm not here, I'm where nobody can reach instead of here.
So she's kind of trying to outrun death?
Nobody can reach.
I don't really know. The production is productioning. I remember back when I would react to her, people would always say, like, girl, like, all you say is the word production over and over again when you react to her. And that's valid. So I'm trying not to say it as much in this video, but I'm thinking it over and over and over again because her production is very well done. It's very beautiful, and I do want to talk about it. That song was beautifully produced, okay? Summer Breeze, easy, effortless. It just had this airiness to it. And that's impressive to me. Very peaceful, kind of calming. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I enjoyed it. The next one is I'll Change For You.
How do I let our love die when you're the only other keeper of my most precious memories? Yeah.
Has so many lyrical parallels already. Like, you're the keeper of my memories. She talked about memories in the first track. She has a lot of lyrics about death so far, you know. She always threads the lyrics through the tracks to make it feel more cohesive in the stories.
And drinking. Why is that gotta mean I can't call you about you and me? 'Cause I
So fanciful.
do anything for you to love me again. If
I've been drinking. Why is that gotta mean I can't call you about you and me? She's like, why can't I drunk call you? You know? Because I'll do anything for you to love me again if you don't like me now. I will change for you. That's sad, but real. Like, I wish I didn't relate to it, but I do.
I can't call you about you and me, 'cause I do anything for you to love me again.
That kind of delay after the word, you know, I'll change for you again. Kind of that delay. It's subtle, but it's intentional, I'm sure.
I'll change for you.
I don't like this one. It's sad.
Bars, such magic places. You can be without the people, without having anyone at all.
Yep. You can be with other people without having anyone at all.
So I'm loitering outside, watching all the cars passing by, like a kid waiting for my ride. I'll do anything for you to love me again. If you don't like
put me through the pain of that song. I was kind of revisiting some past trauma a little bit there. So don't mind me going through the emotional roller coaster as always with Mitski. Sonically, that one, I don't know how else to say this, but like the backing like sound to it reminded me of elevator music. And I don't mean that as an insult. I don't mean that in a bad way. It just really reminded me of something you would hear when you're in like an elevator at a fancy hotel or something. Again, a very straightforward one, you know, very to the point storytelling and just very sad. It's just so sad. It's just one of those songs that kind of hits you because it's like, yeah, I felt that way before. Like, I love you so much. I'll change for you. I'll do anything, you know, that desperation of like, I will do anything for you to love me. It's also an interesting twist that like that person had loved her before, you know, previously. It's not like this is just a fantasy where she really wants this person to love her back. They once did love her and now they don't. So she's wanting for that feeling to come back, which is a slightly different kind of pain than if she had like never loved them or known them in that way. So, okay, the next one's called Rules.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1, all come over. I'll be dressed like your best idea. Number 2, you'll be gentle. And number 3, you won't ruin me.
And like a hoedown, throwdown vibe.
Nobody's anyone anymore. So 5, I'll be alone for a while, but I'm only crying 'cause it feels good. I'll have a new haircut. I will be somebody else. Pretend that you don't see how I'm no longer there behind my eyes. And 6 in the morning, I'll be woken up by that old light, that old light, that old light, that old light.
Kind of getting some joyful vibes with this one. It's party time. We're coming out of the sadness of the last track. This feels like a jazz bar. It's classy as hell. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She can't stop counting. Kind of reminded me of like a hoedown, throwdown mixed with a jazz bar. That's what sonically it gave me. Not my favorite so far, but didn't hate it. The next one's called That White Cat. I guess that white cat that's on the album cover. So interesting the soundscapes she paints, you know? It's all very intentional, I imagine.
See him through my window, the white neighborhood cat marking my house. But I guess according to cats, now it's his house. Mama told me things will leave
because when this song first started, I was like, oh, this is just going to be a chill song about a cat who wants ownership of her house, you know, was peeing on the side of her house because it wanted to mark its territory. And now she's getting into existential questions about life and death and like what we hold on to when we die. And I didn't need that, Mitski. I really didn't. You know, we could have just kept talking about cats. Chain. In every way, that was my least favorite song so far. Sonically, lyrically, vocally, you know, I'm not a big fan of that kind of like screaming, shouting she does sometimes. Yeah, lyrically, I don't know, kind of went over my head. I know it was like an existential crisis type of song. Like, what are we going to take when we die, right? Like, everything kind of goes away. Like, even if we have these really prized possessions, they're eventually going to break or we're going to lose them and they're eventually going to end up in a landfill. So like, what do we take when we die? And she was kind of reflecting on that, but then I didn't really understand exactly what the metaphor of the cat was. I think she was trying to make an argument about the futility of everything. Like, she's going to a job and why is she going to a job? And it, you know, she lists all the reasons and it doesn't really add up to anything super important. Meaning like life doesn't, you know, have any meaning to her in that moment. She's kind of in this existential crisis mindset. I have no idea if that's correct. That's just my interpretation on first listen. I'm sure it had, you know, some deep thing. I just don't know what that was. So I felt like I was a bit disconnected from it for that reason. But the next one is Charon's Obol.
At midnight, the dogs gathered around the house. Her heart was like a drawer. She only opened when she went out to feed those dogs and let her memories bathe in the moonlight for a while.
Okay, I was not into that song at all. That was definitely my least favorite so far. Sonically, just reminded me so much of her last album. You know, that whole soundscape hasn't really aged well for me. But we're on the last track, and it is called Lightning. Bit darker again.
Lightning hit so close, sounded like a big tin can. All hail the rain. All hail the rain. Running like they're feeling
just remembered on her last album, she did talk about death a bit. I think in Star, I want to say. She talked about like when we all die, you know, we're all going back to the stars. So clearly something that's on her mind a lot, which, you know, can't say it's not on my mind too. I think it's on all of our minds.
Could I come back as the rain?
Ooh, could I come back as the rain?
Again to fall again. If I'm dark, all the better to reflect the moonlight. If I'm warm, all the better to behold the
Ooh. Transitions go wild. Hell yeah.
I can hear the song of my death. Calling to the thunder. Oh Lord.
It just ended. That was it. I'm really glad that last song had a really solid build to it, and a bunch of like really cool transitions and instrumentals and stuff. Because when it first started, I was like, oh, this is really slow. You know, I'm just not really into this pacing, like especially for it being the last track, right? I don't know. It just felt like it was lacking something, and then the second half was insane, and I'm really glad that it popped off. Yeah, I mean, a lot of talk of death on this album. Not like overly so, but you know, a moderate amount of death on this album. I mean, nothing's about to happen to me. Maybe that has something to do with death. I don't know. You guys will have to fill me in if you know anything about like the meanings and stuff. Always open to hearing it. I just wanted to kind of take in the album and didn't look up a whole ton as I was listening or anything. I feel like sonically we got such a wide array of vibes. Like there were very soft, very poetic, kind of more emotional tracks. There were more hard-hitting, harsh tracks. I couldn't really figure out what vibe was going to come next. There's not really anything wrong with that necessarily. I just feel like I was in the mood for something a bit more cohesive or a bit more, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the songs kind of reminded me of like other sounds she's done or other albums, which is totally fine because I like those albums, but I kind of wanted something a little bit different. I don't know how to explain it. I guess a lot of the songs, multiple of the songs, which, you know, was a short album, it was 11 tracks, and multiple of the songs felt like they were in the exact same soundscape as her previous album, which again, at the time, I loved that album and it just hasn't aged well for me. So I don't know. I feel like I've moved on from that soundscape. I don't want to hear songs that remind me of that album. That being said, you know, maybe that's just a sound that she dabbles in a lot and she really enjoys, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, you're here for my opinion, and my opinion is that those songs didn't really hit for me. They didn't really do much for me. There were definitely a couple songs I liked. I'm gonna be honest, like I don't love this album on a first listen, you know. I will definitely have to listen to it more. I feel like I really enjoyed Where's My Phone to like I'll Change For You. I enjoyed that whole section, I would say. But the last few tracks I didn't really vibe with as much. And then, yeah, I guess that middle section was really where it hit for me the most. But I don't know. I'm curious to see if it'll grow on me at all or not. You know, sometimes I'm wrong and sometimes I'm right. So we will see. Hi guys, I do have to correct myself. I do have to give an update in this situation. I absolutely adore this album now. I have had like a complete turnaround where it's just really grown on me. I think with more listens, like for me, it was definitely a grower. There's still a couple tracks that I'm not obsessed with. I definitely skip them still. I think there's 3 different songs that I still skip, but I love it so much. I love Mitski. She has freaking delivered with this masterpiece, and I did just want to update. So thank you so much for being here and listening to my little update. But there were definitely some moments, you know, in any album, there's going to be some great moments. And I felt like those great moments were here. There were some beautiful transitions, some beautiful, just beautiful sonic change-ups and atmospheres that she created. I do think her production of this album was just as beautiful as ever, you know? It's just a matter of like sounds that I've outgrown versus sounds that I feel like I'm still into. Lyrically, it felt kind of classic Mitski to me, you know, kind of ambiguous at parts, but there were more straightforward songs as well, and a lot of complexity in the lyrics and a lot of deeper themes and deeper meanings, which I always appreciate, you know, that she goes beyond the surface and she looks deeper. That's something I really respect about her. So I enjoyed that being present on this album as well. But yeah, just my honest first opinions. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, listening to Mitski's beautiful voice and just hearing the lessons she's learning in her daily life and she wants to share with us. So thank you so much for watching this video and staying till the end. It really means a lot to me, especially if you're here from my old Mitski videos. Shout out to you. Thank you for still being here. And I will see you guys very soon for the next video. Bye.